Welcome back to another episode of the Player Career Mode here on FC24. We recently got ourselves back up to 88 rated in the last episode before the weekend. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. Fingers crossed your team won, unless your team is Reading, in which case I hope your team lost, because Cambridge could really do with the 3 points. We are very close to the end of the current season here at Tottenham. However, we very much hope that the end of the season does get pushed slightly further back, because we'd like to get through in the Champions League against Valencia, we'd like to get through in the FA Cup against Fulham, and both of which could be achieved today, provided there isn't another rescheduling of a game in between, with the advancement in the Champions League. So Luton in between the two cup ties today, a home for all 3 fixtures, so perfectly placed. There are some important games remaining this season, including Liverpool in there, and the final day of the season is away from home at Old Trafford, which could be rather sizable a fixture given the nature of the Premier League table, of course, because Manchester United currently sit second and are 2 points off top. We are 6 points off top, but certainly within touching distance of Manchester City. We could have been in a better position had we not drawn and lost our 2 Premier League games in the last episode, but the only way you can respond is to be better next time around and go and get the victory. So that's exactly what we're going to try and do against Luton. Only one opportunity to get 3 points today, of course, Premier League-wise. But fingers crossed, things will go well in all 3 competitions that we're still a part of. So do drop the video a like if you're enjoying the content continually. I'd appreciate it very much, of course. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more. The vote for what happens with us next season will be coming very soon indeed. But for now, we're going to focus on the task at hand. And that task at hand is welcoming Valencia to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium after we went to their place and beat them 1-0. Now, despite losing the last game in the last episode, I personally have been in good form. 2 goals on my left foot as well, no less, in the last game in the 3-2 defeat to Aston Villa. So I'm in decent form. In fact, I'm in pretty electric form, goal-scoring wise. We've been scoring goals left, right and centre of late in all competitions, and we hope that continues here. The team have been playing very well as well. When we say we had that slight wobble against Nottingham Forest with a 0-0 draw and Aston Villa with a defeat in the last episode, but generally the rule of thumb has been, of late, Tottenham Hotspur win games of football. On this occasion, we actually only need to draw to ensure that we progress. Slight rotation in the side, as you can see, with Manor Solomon in there purely for stamina reasons. That was a bit of a nasty foul from the Valencia man, but play continues. I'm sure he'll pick up a yellow card sooner rather than later for that next time the ball goes out of play, but no opening chance in the first few moments. But Valencia certainly not just coming here to lie down. They mean business, and they're going to put themselves about a bit as well, trying to get themselves through to the next round of the Champions League. This is the round of 16, and the quarterfinals await for whoever can get themselves through here. As the expected yellow card from Jair Colpani. No surprises with that after the way that he went about making that tackle in the opening stages. Can Manor Solomon get me down the line again? He can. Got Onwa Bamidele with me. But we're going to find Manor Solomon, and he's got Dan Gore there. Little ball back into the middle. Maybe we could have created a chance. I'm going to try and get to this. I got lucky there. I thought he was just going to continue forwards, and he turned back on himself, and as such... Oh, I caught him from behind rather than actually getting to the trajectory of the ball that would have been the case had he kept going the way he was going. I'm very lucky there that I haven't just gotten a red card. I could very much, quite easily, have gotten myself sent off there. I certainly expect a yellow card for the challenge when the ball goes out of play next. So now 2 players on the pitch have put in rather distasteful challenges and gotten themselves yellow cards, and either of us could have gotten ourselves sent off in the opening stages to this game. Thankfully, the referees let me off just as he let Colpani off. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to get myself a goal there to give us a 1-0 lead. Salamakers over the top, finding Kariolu very well indeed. And here in the middle is Dusan Vlahovic, but that was poor. Dusan, one of the highest rated players on the pitch, one of the highest rated strikers in Europe. But he did not perform at all in the first leg. And so far, that's all he's done in the second leg too. Valencia trying their hardest here, but it just appears that they don't quite have the quality to deal with what we can offer. Dink this into the middle. It hits Pavlovic. I'll try and get it back to a teammate. I probably should have let that go out of play. I'm now getting my yellow card that I very much deserve from my earlier challenge, and I'm going to have to be very careful with what I do putting in tackles for the rest of the game. Otherwise, I will go off. Looks like it's going to be 0-0 at half-time, though. And ordinarily, we'd be disappointed with a 0-0 scoreline. But on this rarer occasion after the 1-0 first leg win, we'll take a scoreless draw because it means we go through. It's Diakabi into Kolpani. He's got options, one of which out wide is Salamakers. 3 minutes to win it back. Smith Rowe could play me through here. It wasn't much of a through ball, but still will build. Tommy Doyle make the run and through into the gap. To me is the plan. Surely from here. Yes. You knew that was coming. As soon as I get the chance to settle myself and I've got the right angle, foregone conclusion. Tottenham 1, Valencia 0. I get the goal, and in the 60th minute, we've surely now put ourselves into the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Malero through the gap. Dusan Vlahovic. Back to Malero again. It's not a bad delivery. One well. It's a good chance. Genuinely is a good chance. If he gets that on target and it flies in the far top corner, Valencia push everybody forward to try and get themselves an equalising goal on the night. Sorry, on aggregate, and a 2-1 win on the night to take us to extra time. But as it happens, that's their best chance. And you can see just how poor that has been. I shouldn't have done that. Took the touch the wrong way and had already committed to the pass and didn't cancel it in time. Alex Malero trying to give Valencia that one consolation goal, as it will only be now with just seconds remaining. And I don't think they're even going to get that. They might do from the corner. We are going to go through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. It is the quarterfinal already of the FA Cup later today. And we could hopefully find ourselves going to Wembley for a semi-final in that competition. And fingers crossed, we'll now go and get 3 points against Luton in the Premier League as well. Man of the match performance. Keep ourselves in the starting lineup. Although my manager favourite did go down one. We're through. Barca are through on penalties against Frankfurt. 3-3 on aggregate there after a strong first leg win for the Germans in Spain. AC Milan knock out Manchester City. Juventus are through against Dortmund. And then the other half of the draw, Real Madrid you'd expect to go through. Bayern could certainly turn that around. PSG you'd certainly expect to go through. And Leverkusen 2-1 up from a win in London. Now back at home, you would anticipate that they get through there. But as we advance towards the game against Luton, I don't think we'll have the next round drawn there. I think that's probably going to come in the next month. Poor managerial performance, I'm not so sure about that. We're all behind him. Everybody loves Ange, really. Even a number of Arsenal fans would, I'm sure, admit that Ange is seemingly a very sound human being. Do we have any other clubs interested in us? It was 5, it's still 5, so we don't really want to go to Wolfsburg or Qingdao or Brentford or Monaco. So at the minute is Liverpool, Inter, or stay at Spurs at this particular moment in time. Up next, though, is the game against Luton now in the Premier League. I don't anticipate the Champions League has been drawn yet, because those next round of fixtures in the quarterfinals will be this week here. But by the time we get to Fulham, we should know what's happening in the competition and who we'll have in that next round. But for now, it's Luton next. Right, Luton then score from outside the box, unlikely. 3 shots on target is doable, as is the 9.0. Certainly we could expect to get a strong result against Luton. They're actually not playing in orange, as we mentioned when we were playing Valencia. They're in their black changed strip. Their home kit is orange, isn't it, Luton Town? But rather than playing that, it's straight up full black kit versus a full white kit. And hopefully on this occasion, it's the home kit that comes out on top. Yeah, they don't have a great team, Luton Town. They've got 19 points to our 48 so far this season. So certainly they're not having a great year. Where, though, that 19-point haul puts them in the table, I'm not sure. This is an excellent first move, though. And we lead. Well, that's brilliant. If we could do that for the remainder of the episode, then that would be wonderful. We've put together a better move in the first 10 minutes against Luton than we did in the entirety of the game against Valencia. But both games had a 1-0 scoreline, and hopefully both games will end with a Tottenham win. Although it would be nice to score more than one here against Luton Town, especially having gone in front quite so early on. Rykov. Some good footwork. Renato Sanchez. Back to Abdoulaye Doucouré. Don't imagine he's very quick anymore. Was never really one of his strong suits anyway, was it, his pace? But certainly imagine he'll still be pretty strong, despite his ageing self. Get that to Doku, and then he's got support. He's turned really well, actually. I'll look for the ball through there, and I'm pretty sure Dan Gore was onside. He was indeed. Ball through, picked off by the aforementioned 90-year-old Abdoulaye Doucouré, who's actually done quite well in the opening 15 minutes, but still we lead by a goal to nil. Hopefully we will extend that lead in the not too distant future, but it is Luton Town that are coming forward here initially. Renato going on a bit of a mazy run, but that is put to a rather swift end. Maricho, nice ball through the gap. Can I get around the defender? We can. I'm not rapid, but I might just be quick enough here. Can we place that? We can. Luton 0, Tottenham 2. And we've scored our second goal of the episode and the second goal of this game. Bading, 3 points please. The title fight pushes further on. Here's Rykov. Luton looking for a way back into it. We very much anticipate them not being able to do so. They've had a decent effort there, though, but it's well blocked by Fofana. Abdoulaye Doucouré with the ball out wide, and they still could do something here. They're playing a 5-back. He's absolutely flattened. That deserved a goal. He sent the defender for chips there. He's on the floor. He's going to have to pay an admission fee to get back in the stadium, I think. He's gone. Well and truly dispatched. Troy Parrott's header doesn't quite go very well. Here's Renato Sanchez. Now, Troy Parrott is a former Tottenham player, isn't he? My brain is telling me. I'm sure Troy Parrott plays for Tottenham in real life. Out on loan the majority of the time, IRL at the minute. But maybe part of Tottenham's future plans. Who knows? Unless they've already sold him and I can't remember. Renato with the corner here as they've drawn another save out of the keeper. And this time, Shillo will get rid of it. Actually putting on a bit of a spell of possession and pressure here, Luton Town. But they haven't got anything to show for it yet. With only 1 minute added on at the end of the first half, and now with us in possession, I don't think they are going to get anything to show for it. 2-0 at the break. Lenormand into me. Hey, that's short. Doyle. Gore. Arm in. Come on then. Beautiful. He took an extra touch that I wasn't too sure about, but then with the finish, Olé! With the outside of the right foot, he has been able to tuck it into the bottom corner. I think it actually artificially delayed him taking the shot as the keeper was coming out, and it kind of knew the keeper was going to go to ground. So took the shot here, and then he took an extra little touch, which was weird, kind of half step, which messed me up a little bit. But then he's gone for that outside the foot finish, and that is beautifully tucked away. We might be on for a hat-trick here, you know. We do need them to keep our place at Tottenham. But that's the second goal for me now, and we are 3-0 in front here in the 50th minute, and I'm on a 10 out of 10. I mean, yeah, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 goals in 11 games. It's our best goal-scoring run of form of my entire career. Certainly since that Raków season in Poland, season 3. So I'd go as far as to say we are genuinely in the best form of our entire career, 7 seasons in. And if we can add a third and put the icing on the cake for a hat-trick here, then we'd be absolutely thrilled. But the most important thing at this stage is the 3 points. We can artificially get ourselves the hat-trick at the end of the season to ensure we have the opportunity to stay at Tottenham. What we can't artificially do, or what I won't artificially do, is get us the points to win the league or to win games. I can't do that. I won't do that. I'm not going to save scum and reload. I would love a hat-trick here against Luton if we can get it. Amaricho's in here and thumped home by Tommy Doyle. We are wiping the floor with Luton Town. It's Tottenham 4, Luton 0 now. Renato into Alfie Doherty. Renato Sanchez again. I don't think I'm going to get the chance for this hat-trick, am I, in the 88th minute? We've scored 4 as a team. Well, I've only managed to get 2 of them. Renato Sanchez picked up a yellow card for something about 4 hours ago. Ryan Giles going off for them as well as they bring on their number 7. Not sure who their number 7 is going to be, actually, off the top of my head. Parrott into Yusuf here. Zaidu, Doherty. Yeah, I'm not going to get a hat-trick. We've scored twice in 2 games in the last 3. But, unfortunately, on neither occasion am I going to get a hat-trick. In fact, in one of them, the first one, it was an opposition player that got a hat-trick. Colin Mawani bagged 3 against this for the Villa win. We're going to get a victory here by 4-0 against Luton Town, which is superb, but it is a little bit gutting not to have added a third there. But strong result for the Premier League, and if we can do that again in the FA Cup, we'll be going to Wembley. Man of the match, unsurprisingly, for a 2-goal haul and a 10 out of 10 rating. Manager favour goes up slightly. And then Fulham did actually just win on their last game. I praise my teammates because I wasn't the only one to score in that one. The team actually played very well. People in the dressing room, or people listen to you in that dressing room. Good. So they should. One of the best strikers in Europe. Still no 6th club, but we expect some clubs to come in right at the very end of the season. We should, I anticipate, have the Champions League draw completed now, right? Bayer Leverkusen. It's a favourable draw. It could have been much worse than that. Fulham at home in the FA Cup next then. We'd very much like to get ourselves to Wembley for a potential FA Cup semi-final. Right, win the game. I'll go for the shots on target. Always, as you well know, feel like occasionally going for the win the game one actually jinxes you a little bit. So we'll try and avoid any potential jinx. And we'll see what we can get done here. Lukic into Hjulmand, picked off by Basuma. And we'll try and get a strong result against Fulham. I don't know what we've done against them in the league. I could have to check the spreadsheet to see what the team have done and what I personally have done against Fulham in the league. But it's well picked off by Lukic and Sally Özcan. Who's it? Sally Özcan. Making the break forward. Mateus Nunes here in behind now. Playing pretty in pink today, Fulham. But hopefully the scoreline won't look pretty for them. At home for the 3rd straight game. And would like 3 straight victories, please. Lenormand and Doyle. Oh, it's really nicely done until the player couldn't quite get it under control. If he had done, I'm sure he would have slotted me in. Basuma wins that tackle. Vanderson will find me. I'll go out wide here to Doyle. I get a little bit lucky that it bobbles free in front of me. Vanderson, Doku, make the run through the gap. Call for the ball. I am going to get it, but you knew as soon as I took that first touch, regardless of what direction I went, I was going to get tackled. Hjulmand spraying the ball over the top for Ferguson to run onto. Evan Ferguson will lay it back to Özcan. To Evan Ferguson again. This is dangerous for Fulham here. He's going to go for goal. Werner makes the save with his feet. Samuel Chukwueze on the far side to deliver the ball into the middle. Basuma heads up and away, but Lukic will recover it, and Fulham's pressure still builds. Here's Mateus Nunes in the box. They've got some really good players here, Fulham. And it might be dangerous. Evan Ferguson's shot blocked. Shillo, I'll call for the ball over the top. Not going to get it over the top, but I will get it nonetheless. I'll give it back here to Smith Rowe, and if he takes his time before playing me in, we could go again, but never mind, we've gone sideways and backwards. It's all right. Go on then. Now. Oh, too late. Come on. Play the pass. There we go. Through there. Go on, Tommy. Straight at the keeper. Neil with a straightforward save after half an hour. That's as good as we've gotten going forward so far. It's been nowhere near as easy as the previous game. And Valencia wasn't necessarily straightforward, but we were a bit more creative, a bit more dominant than we have been in this one. Looking for Doku there. He will break past the man. And Neil makes a good save at the near post. I very much expected that to fly in. Don't know whether I would have gotten the assist or not because of the interception of the defender. That corner's not bad. Doku's up. Straight at Neil from Lenormand, I think it was, having the eventual header. Well, now we have a spell of possession and chances, but the goal won't seem to come for either side at the minute, and it is a very even game. In fact, more even than I might like. A little bit too close for comfort, Fulham, on a couple of occasions so far. And here they come again. Lukic back to Khan. Khan into the middle to Hjulmand, and still they build. 5 minutes to go till half-time. 4 now. And Gore will win that back, and hopefully we'll just get rid. But we've dillied with it at the back, and Evan Ferguson can make us pay for that. Werner ensures we don't pay for it, at least not yet. Corner from the far side. Hjulmand will deliver. Certainly the most competitive fixture we've had of today's episode. Hopefully the result still goes the same way. Belosian, Hjulmand, Mateus Nunes, and Lukic. Samuel Chukwueze. This is scarier than I would like it to be here against Fulham. I have not got as much confidence at all that we're going to get a result here. Nunes tries to place that rather than going for shot power, and he's put it wide. Both sides have got enough chances already in the game to justify winning it. We've got to get the job done, basically. Here and now. There's no excuses at this stage of the season. You're either good enough or you're not. And so far, neither side has been good enough to get in front here, but someone might prove to be bad enough to end up gifting the opposition the result. Is that going to be the moment? It will not be the moment. Quickly out to Doku here, and a counter-attack could be on. He's racing away. There's a lot of bodies between me and he. I'll try and get through that gap if I can, which I've done well, but the keeper's out to get me. Half an hour left. Otherwise, extra time on the way. Through to me. Try and draw the defender on. I've run offside there. Thought the defence were going to drop a little bit and they didn't. Lenormand, there's the obvious ball. Lovely interception by Mateus Nunes. You can hear the fans get a little bit frustrated now. Boos starting to ring out around the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's still 0-0, gents. Not sure why you're getting booey already. Oh, Jesus, whack it at him, why don't you? Great first touch from Evan Ferguson, given the circumstances. We'll clear this, and Doku is with me. Might come back to me here, Jeremy. He's going to go over the top. It's a lovely ball. Here's Brahim Diaz. He's going to look for me, and Boos steps in. He really has had me pocketed in this game. Boos is their best defender by a mile. But will they have a better attacker by a mile than Nunes or Evan Ferguson? Ferguson's 86 rated, Nunes 84. Doku's going to slot me in here. I see Brahim Diaz at the back post. If I can get it to him, we might have a chance. I did get it to him. We do have a chance. The keeper has made a howler. Oh, Neil, what have you done, sir? That was such a simple save to make. My lofty ball across the far side. Brahim Diaz with the impact off the bench to make the save. To get the goal, but the keeper should have made the save. It's just really bad. There's no other way to describe it. It's just really bad from their goalkeeper. We said that there could be no excuses. Well, I have a funny feeling that Fulham's goalkeeper has no excuses for not getting that saved or stopped. In the 77th minute, we take the 1-0 lead that might see us headed to Wembley. Bush into Chukwueze and Hjulman, Saliershan. Fulham trying to show us that it's not necessarily over yet, but it might be, you know. It might be. Very, very soon indeed. I'll call for the through. Well, quick, while I'm onside. Ah, I was screaming for it. Can't believe it. That's why sometimes I don't bother calling for the ball. Because sometimes they just don't want to give it to you. I know I get some clout in the comments sometimes being like, Chase, you should call for the ball more. But on numerous occasions like that, I do. And they just don't play it. I was onside because I had the defender next to me. So annoying. Renan Lodi into the box. If they equalise now, I'll be furious. Thankfully, that shot is absolutely woeful. And they'll stand no chance of scoring whatsoever. Fofana will break into some space here. There are 2 minutes added on. All we've got to do is get rid of this, please. I'll call for it there, but I'm not going to get it. It was just to try and encourage him to get rid of the bloody ball. Doku, to me, it's actually Amaricho, and there's the final whistle. 1-0, 4-0, 1-0. Semi-final of the FA Cup, quarter-finals of the Champions League, and 3 points in the Prem. Lovely stuff. Of course, after getting a 7.8 rated man of the match performance, dropped to the bench. Arsenal 4, Blackburn 1, so we will face either Arsenal, presumably Liverpool, or one of Plymouth or Millwall. Please, let's not have a North London derby in the semi-final of the FA Cup. That would not necessarily fill me with much confidence at all. Praise the team spirit as we look to try and score a couple of trophies here at Tottenham this season. I need just 10 more shots on target and then we can artificially manufacture the hat-tricks. Still, Inter and Liverpool the only other two options for me at this stage. And actually, there's a bit of a gap to the next game against Crystal Palace on the 6th. There's a 2-week gap. International break. Guess who's going to be on the bench very, very shortly? I'm going to start the next episode on the bloody bench. Unbelievable, Jeff. I'm not sure I deserve that at all, do you? But it's out of my hands with the nature of the way that the game mechanics work this year. So, despite there not being a match, I can't train and I will be sub only for the game against Crystal Palace. I'm Player of the Month again. That's back-to-back Player of the Months. It's all about the team is what I'll say. But you can quite clearly see that I deserve Player of the Month there and I deserve Player of the Month there. So it's probably the most deserving back-to-back Player of the Month I've ever had in my career. It might even be the only back-to-back Player of the Month I've had in my career. So we'll very much take it. And of course the Player of the Month gets dropped. Because of course he does. Still no 6th team. Oh, negotiations are ongoing now. Oh, mate. Match rescheduled. Right, who have we got then in the FA Cup? Sheffield United. Oh my lord, we've had Sheffield United beat Liverpool. Then, in that case, we've had. I mean, I'm probably jinxing myself by saying it now. We've had such a favourable run in the cup. Ipswich, Blackpool, Bournemouth, Fulham, Sheffield United, and you would anticipate it being a North London derby FA Cup final. Plymouth Argyle knocked out in the quarters. Millwall make it to Wembley for a semi-final. Sheffield United won 3-2 at Anfield, and Millwall won 3-0 at Home Park. If we get to the FA Cup final and then lose it to Arsenal, that'd be devastating. It's going to be an exciting end to the season, though, isn't it? We are still 5th in the table, and now 7 points off Manchester City at the top of the table, but with a game in hand. So that 7 could become 4, and it was 6. So we are still potentially getting closer yet still to challenging for the Premier League title this season. We are on for a potential treble. At least we're in the picture for a potential treble. Don't miss tomorrow's episode, will ya? I'll see you then.